we can upload it after it's recorded. This session today, B11, is perhaps one of my favorite sessions. They all great. I like them all. But this session, B11, is kind of one of my favorite sessions. And the reason I say that is because it's about being creative. And in this business, you have to be very creative. Don't you agree?
Yes.
In this business, not everything is the same. We have a couple of challenges with our teams. One of them is having discipline, having a routine. I think having a routine and having discipline is one of the biggest challenge most people have in the business. But being creative is one of the accolades, one of the virtues that most people also have. So the question is, how can I maintain a routine and be creative at the same time? If we learn how to combine those two things, we develop a tremendous DNA for this business. So let's look at the session today. The business vitamin for today is called Cartin, which is being creative, vitamin B11. If you see the formula, like we're seeing all the formulas every week, it opens up with different possibilities. It actually has more chemical materials in it because it's a composition on a vitamin that actually help us develop our DNA. So the purpose of the coaching session today and the message for today is nothing more than to inspire us to think about solutions and different alternatives. As a result, what we're going to do is be able to convert people that are interested but questioning if they should move forward or not into qualified appointments. And then at the appointment is going to help us think with possibilities and present solutions. And we're going to learn how to develop a very unique presentation, a very creative presentation that is going to help you get more listings and, of course, make more sales. At the end of the day, the purpose of this is that you become a master of solutions. So let's get started. Let's look at this vitamin B11. And in the bottom, you see that this vitamin combined with vitamin B12, which is the next session, take a very, very important part in the formation of the DNA and the RNA, which is that daily natural attitude that we want for success, for prosperity. But more important, this helps in the formation of the brains and spinal cord in the fetus when we're growing. So think about the importance of being creative. Every one of us has been created with a purpose. The fact that we have been created means that we're creative, that we can create things, that we can develop things, and we create opportunities, we create success, we create fear, we create problems. Basically, we create everything. So let's look at the agenda that we're going to follow today. First thing is my favorite part, which is creating a life by design. How can you create the perfect life? A life by design, that you design it, not by default. One of the ways of doing it, obviously, is following your routine, like you have it. But another way is thinking with solutions, which we're going to talk about that. We're going to learn a technique today called mind mapping. And I want you to take some good notes today and then download the presentation from Map to Mastery so you can learn about mind mapping. It's going to help you tremendously creating solutions for your clients. Then we're going to look into everything that you have, that you create, that is worthwhile, must be in writing, and how is that going to define you, your image. So let's get started with creating this system and an experience of prosperity from now on. This session today is for all of you that are looking for a new way, a better way. Knowing what you know right now, how can you put it to work in a better way? It's not necessarily your way.
It got frozen.
It got frozen? I am fine right here with all the bars. Marcela, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you well.
Okay. All right, good. Marco, are we back? Can you hear me okay now? Yeah, Marcela can hear us fine.
Sim, agora.
So it's not about my
We
way.
don't hear you.
Okay, we're fine, Marco, with Marcela on the other end. I don't know if it's your system.
No, my sister is good.
Good, yeah, this one is good too. And I think Marcela's is good too, right?
Yes, I'm here. I can
Okay,
hear you.
all right.
You froze a little bit. Everything was okay, but you frozen,
Oh,
and then lost you for a few minutes.
okay, so now I'm okay?
Now you're okay.
All right, thank you. So let's begin. Let's begin. The good thing we recorded it so we don't miss anything next time we see it. Creating a life by design. You are all independent contractors. So am I. We chose this business, this profession, because we want the freedom. We want to have a great life and great prosperity. And we talk in session number 7 and session number 8 and session number 9 about your routine, about the schedule. And as you have seen every single week on your homework, is about your routine, about your schedule. The most important ingredient to create a life by design is knowing that you have 168 hours every week that you can design. You can actually decide at what time you get up, you eat, you prospect, you present. You can create that life by design. But it's when we don't take the time to think about what we want and put it in writing that we don't create a life by design. It's by default. When we have our weekly appointment book and we just try to fill it out with things that people are asking us to do instead of us designing what we want to do, is when we live a life by accident, by default. So you can create it. Message very important. The number one tool that you have to create a life by design is your routine. It's up to you 100% to begin the day the night before. Every single night you need to begin your next day and write down what do you want to accomplish, because you have 24 hours to do that. The second point that you see in your screen, it says chunking. Chunking is nothing more than chunks, putting things in groups. So if you have activities to prospect, then you put them in a group, all the people that you're going to contact. If you have things that are related to appointments, to presentations, you put them all in a group. We have 4 big chunks of time. PLAN, plan. All the prospecting activities, all the practicing activities, all the lead follow-up activities, all the appointment activities, all the negotiating activities. When you group those activities in a specific period of time, you become more effective. But if you leave them to chance, whenever you have time to do it, then most of the time you won't have time to get them done. I recommend that as you look at your routine, keep it for 3 weeks. Prepare the night before and adjust it every 3 weeks. Every 21 days, adjust your routine. You don't know what's going to really work until you try it 100%. So if you have your routine in front of you and you look at that the night before and you say, wow, I am designing my life. This is what I want my life to be. Not because of what I say or your manager says or anybody. It's your life. You design it. You create it. You were created to create a great design. That's your life. And when you put that schedule, that routine, focus on solutions. Think about it. We don't get paid for expanding the problems or for complaining about the market. We get paid only for solutions. So when we think of solutions, we think of multiple solutions. So let's expand our thinking. There is a program that you can look online and you can Google mind mapping. And you can Google how to do it with colors, you have your board. Have you seen those shows on TV with the like CSI and people that are investigating, trying to resolve a problem, resolve a crime, and they have a board and they have pictures and they have lines and this connects with that? Have you seen that?
Yes.
Okay, that is mind mapping. That is finding a problem, finding an issue, and saying, okay, how can I find a solution? And when we talk about being coachable, in session number 10, past session, I introduce you to the best 6 coaches you will ever have. And they were 6. That was what, when, where, how, who, why, and then there was a 7th one called why not. Well, those are the coaches that are going to help you discover the possibilities right here. In mind mapping is nothing more than a picture of possibilities. Let's say that you have a listing that is not selling. Let's say that you have a listing that you think is priced properly, at the right price, in the right location. It has the right ingredients, it's decorated nice, but it's not selling. Do you have any of those? Have you ever have any of those? That you don't know what's going on and why the property is not selling? Well, let's think about it together. Let's say we have that property and we're going to mind map together. First thing I'm going to ask is what is it that I'm offering? So I'm offering a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage, a great lot, and a swimming pool. I define what I'm offering. But what is it that I'm looking for? I'm looking for a buyer. Isn't that what I'm looking for? Or I'm looking how to market the property? The first question you need to ask yourself when you're doing mind mapping is the target. Because a lot of people, we find solutions to market the property more, to do more advertisement. But we really don't focus on what is it that we're looking for. We're looking for a buyer. So the first thing you do is you put the issue in the center. I have this property, this 4-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom, $495,000 home. I am looking for a buyer, and the buyer goes here. Now you're going to create a map to connect those. You're going to create a map to connect it, like little bees pollinated. Here is a flower called seller, and here is another one called buyer. You have to pollinate. You have to go around until you connect them. So let's ask questions. What type of buyer am I looking for? How can I promote the property, and how can I market the property? How can I find that buyer? When am I going to do these activities? Where are most of these buyers coming from? One clue can be, let me find out the people that live around this neighborhood to see where they come from. And you start finding out where they come from. Who is the most likely target? Are there people relocating to the area? Is this more like a corporate relocation? Have I promoted this property with the companies that are relocating executives in this area? Why will people want to buy this property? Why does the seller want to sell it? So you start asking all these questions, and Leonardo da Vinci was a master at mind mapping. That's why his picture is right there. So mind mapping, as you look at the formula of the DNA, the RNA, your daily natural attitude, is the same as mind mapping. So you take an issue right in the center. You take an issue, what is my issue? What is my situation? And you're going to start mind mapping with the 11 sessions that we learned so far. Are we prepared? Am I focused on targeting the right buyer, the right seller? Do I know what to say when I contact them? Being a responder. Being on time. So you look at the 11 sessions that we have covered, including today being creative, and you're going to apply this technique called mind mapping. Imagine if you have a listing and you sit down and you put in the center, you put the issue is we want to sell this property in the next 60 days. That is the target. What do I need to do? And you start with what? And write all the solutions and get colors. Get creative. Think like a child. You get colors, you get images, and you start putting, oh, I'm going to contact this person. Oh, by the way, you know what? I'm going to contact a friend of mine that had a similar property, and I'm going to review what I did, and I'm going to ask him some few questions, and you start mind mapping, and pretty soon you create a map of possibilities. Not that something is impossible to sell or impossible to purchase, but you create possibilities. So you become and you say, I am possible, which is something impossible becomes possible. Because now the possibilities expand, the solutions expand. But if you leave the problem and you don't focus on solutions. What, when, where, why, how, who. Then the problem remains, stands. And every week that goes by, I don't know if it drives you crazy or not, but every week that you have a listing that is not selling and nothing is happening, how do you feel? How do you react? What do you tell the seller? The market is bad. Nobody has called. I hope they don't call me. Have you ever been to that situation where you have that property that nothing is happening on? I would highly recommend that you look at your inventory. You look at every listing you have and start mind mapping. How are you going to attract the right buyer for this listing? What agents do you know that are selling in that area? Hey, maybe you look at the MLS and you find out the 2 or 3 agents that sold the last properties in that area in the last year, and you can contact them. Let's say Marco sold the property. I call Marco. I say, Marco, I'm Saul, and with Realty World, and I have this property at 123 Happy Road, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, and I know that you sold the one 5 blocks from here about 4 months ago. Could you tell me a little bit about the buyer? What about this property? So you now start mind mapping and creating solutions. Now, if you are actively looking for solutions, most likely that energy is contagious and is going to attract more solutions, more people. Any questions so far about this mind map? Everybody clear on this?
Yes.
Is that something that you think will help you with your sellers when you're finding out a better alternative to help them sell their house? Or with a buyer, a better alternative to find the property they're looking for? This works. So we go back to the beginning, to that formula of being creative now. What do I want? It starts with the desire. Do I really want to find a solution, or do I just want to wait? Holidays are here. I'm going to wait until next year. And you know what? Today is just the 18th. You still have 13 days to go. Every day counts. So what do I want? Am I committed to finding a solution? Am I committed to taking time to think? I think the biggest challenge, as I mentioned to you last week in the coaching session, was discipline, persistence. I also think that one of the things that people need to do more is taking time to think. I don't think a lot of people are taking time to think because it's a lot easier to go Google this, Google that, give me the answer. But if you were to take the time to think and use your creative power, and you get a piece of paper or you get a whiteboard and you start writing down what you want and thinking of ways to get it, I think is more powerful than Googling an answer. You can Google some things for speed, but are you committed to thinking? Because it's when you activate your thinking that you acquire a unique knowledge. You know how to solve it. And you develop that skill of being able to think with alternatives, to think with possibilities. And then the results are many. Then you begin to believe, this, and you know this, I know it too, there's more than one way of doing things. But are they the right ways? Are they in the right direction? That's the question. So for us, the desire of being creative is not just, I'll find a solution. It boils down to taking 10, 15 minutes, quietly, thinking. Because as you saw in the last diagram, mind mapping is like the DNA formula and is within you. You have those answers. You can hire those 6 coaches that we talked about last week. Ask them those questions. Find the answers. Find the solutions. And you become very, very creative. In fact, you become so creative that you start delivering unique proposals, irresistible propositions. Think about this. What if my presentation is a presentation based on results, vision, and conviction? Not on market conditions? My CMA is totally different? What if my presentation is like this? Let's say that I am going to present to Marcela, that is in the call. I say, Marcela, I know you have to get going pretty soon. You have an important appointment. But before you go, I want to share with you that in the last 3 months, we have contacted my company 561 people. We have set up 72 appointments. from which we have listed 12 properties and we have helped 7 buyers. I'm showing you this because I am very focused on making sure that we market the property so we can get the result that we want. See, I have a very clear vision. I use this mind map to figure out how can we position your property, Marcela, so it's the most attractive property, and here is how we're going to do it. This is who we're going to contact. This is when we're going to do it. This is where we're going to post all this stuff, because I believe 100% that there is more than one way to get this property sold. So together with my team, as soon as we sign this contract, we're going to activate this listing. I am 100% sure that we're going to find the best way and solution to get the property sold. Are you ready to get it sold?
Of course.
All right. So my presentation was based on results. This is what I have done on a vision that I present to them, like that vision board that you guys created, but it's now a mind map of solution. And I finish with, I am 100% convinced that we're going to find the best way to get this property sold. Yeah. That is a very irresistible presentation. But you have to believe. You have to have your map in front of you. And you have to show your results. You see, a lot of people spend most of the time finding a new way and doing and doing and doing, and the more you do, hopefully the better you become. I have a different theory. I think you should spend more time being, and you have so far 11 lessons of being. To me, it's more important that you are more, not that you do more. That you are more prepared, that you are more focused, that you're more timely, that you're more have a routine. So when you say, I am a creative person, I create solutions, I create opportunities. How do you do an open house? Do you just put a sign right before 2 o'clock or something and wait for people to come and maybe see what happens? Or do you go around and you think, okay, who am I going to invite? How am I going to expose this? What alternatives do I have? Am I inviting a home warranty company, an insurance company? Who is helping me sponsor this and make it a huge event? You create the opportunity. You create the event. Is that what we're doing, or are we waiting? Don't underestimate the power that you have with you, because you have been created, therefore you're creative. You have to activate it. All it takes is 10-15 minutes to think on solutions. Here are 5 things that you will focus on. Your routine, that is the base. In this whole program, the #1 tool that will help you build a great business is having a solid foundation, a routine. What do I do in the morning? What do I do in the afternoon consistently? The second thing is your time management. We talk about in B5. Managing your emotions and managing your priorities. You have time to create opportunities. Then your image, your marketing strategy, your slogan. What is 2018? I think 2018 is fantastic. Look at your market statistics. Get together your market, your numbers. Let me ask you something right out. If I was moving back to Florida and I said, how is the market? What would you tell me?
Market is great.
Market is great. Good. So compared to 2015, the jump from 2015 to 2016, now 2016 to 2017, what percentage of growth have you seen in the market?
Okay.
That's something that we don't have right away, right? But we can find out.
Mm-hmm.
The list price to sales price, how is it? So I can determine the market. How many more units did it sell? Are there any new developments? Is this something that together you can think about and put a unique proposition? For example, to say, Marco, I know that you are looking to find the right property at the right price. Before we look at the property, let's evaluate the market. Compared to 2016, in 2017, we have a 12.3% increase on transactions, a 7% increase in price, and the number of buyers are qualified a lot easier than before because the economy is stronger. Knowing those factors means that the competition is a little stronger. So now that we know this and how we work, let's focus on the strategy to find the best property. Now, Marco, will that give you more credibility of me as a representative, as an agent? than an agent that just like get in the car and see properties?
Of course.
Okay. Now, what image would you get of me if I present those facts, those statistics? I am very professional and I'm very excited and convinced about my profession.
You know the market.
I know the market. Then, if I start with that strategy, would you be asking me questions about the market, or you trust that I know the market?
I trust because of your knowledge.
Exactly right. So, who creates that routine? Who creates that strategy?
Yourself.
You create it. So you start with results. Look, in the last 3 months in our company, we were very proactive. We make this many contacts, these many leads, these many results. And the market shows this. Now, I tell you this not to impress you, but to give you the impression that I am 100% committed to my profession and my clients. And I want to make sure that we find the right property, make the right analysis, so when you make that intelligent decision, you feel good about it. Is that okay with you, Marco?
Yes.
Okay, great. So your focus is on choosing the properties that I'm going to show you. And after that, I'll take care of the details. And together, we'll celebrate finding the right property at the right price. That's it. Now, what's my growth strategy? How much do I want to grow next year? 2018. You have your 2018 plan. How much do I want to grow next year? And based on the market, based on the conditions, based on me, based on my belief, how much can I grow? You need to have your 2018 plan already in place, of course. And last, I put my fun strategy. Let's have fun. I have a lot of fun because I'm talking to 6, 7 people every single day that I don't know. I get to meet 6, 7, 8 new people every day. And I invite them to something so exciting as building wealth. So I created new ways to communicate with myself. I don't tell. I have to prospect. I have to call people I don't know. I just smile and I said, I am so lucky today. I get to talk to 6, 7, 8 people today, invite them to explore investing in real estate, creating wealth, and building great friendships. What a great opportunity I have. And I create a new dialogue because I'm going to be dealing with tough things. So I create that experience of prosperity. You remember in the seminar when everybody wrote their love letter a year from now? Well, you only have 9 months left. So a year from now, if you remember that experience, it was powerful. If you want to recreate it, you can do it now. In fact, we're almost to the end of the year. What a better Christmas present than for you to sit down and say, I took this 3-month course and I learned this and that. And based on what I know, and based on my commitment and my desire, I'm going to have this type of 2018 year, and create your experience. Create it. See it. Have your vision board. Give yourself a great present. Create a vision board with all the possibilities in front of you. Have that vision board. Look at it every single day. On the 24th of December, you say, oh my God, I'm ready. On the 25th, it's just like it's here. By the 1st of January, you're going to be walking, talking, and living that creation. And it will happen. Describe everything that you have learned so far. So I'm going to invite you to do something this week, as soon as you can. Think about what you have learned in these 3 months. Think about the challenges and the solutions that you came up with. Write it down and send it to me. And I will put something together, a page or 2, to give you some solutions and best practices that you can implement to have a great 2018. Are you in? Simple exercise. Now, we have been created to create. That's what we have been created. We have been created to create. Your most important tools are going to be your reports. Your weekly routine is your x-ray. Is your DNA x-ray. If somebody's going to do who is Saul, well, this is 168 hours of his life. Wow. Is it a life by design or is it a life by default? Those Excel reports that you have, as simple as a simple Excel spreadsheet or online, life is simple, it's not easy. And the more you simplify things, the more creative you become, because now you have time to create better ways. Remember one thing, it's not my way, It's not your way. It's not the manager's way. It's finding the best way. It's finding the best way for you to be the best you can. And your scripts will help you connect with all that. This coaching session, of course, I'll upload it with the video once we finish. Homework. Same. Weekly routine. I cannot emphasize enough. That is the base to grow your business. I always put 6 contacts per day. Now I'm going to ask you to do 2 more. I want to ask you this week to do 8 contacts. You have a great opportunity because many people already said, you know what? I'm going to wait until next year. And a lot of people are not doing much. Buyers, sellers, agents, not buying, not selling, not doing much. You can actually call people to wish them a great Christmas, a Happy New Year, and perhaps put your number and say, I'm so grateful. 2017 was a great year. Our market increased 11.2%, price rate 7%, and 2018 looks fantastic. And I just want to let you know that I appreciate your trust, your business, your friendship, and look forward for an amazing 2018. In fact, I'd like to get together with you in the first 3 months of next year to sit down and put an investment strategy that can help you and your family build wealth. That's a great conversation. That's a great gift to your friends that you are going to meet with them to help them create a wealth building plan. And I can show you how to do that a presentation, how to create a wealth building plan. I have a 10-year plan in writing, how to convert $110,000 into $1 million investing in real estate. Practice your dialogues, create your strategy for 2018. And maybe write a new letter, a new prosperity letter for you. Because, once you create and believe, then that belief empowers you to get what you want. That's why I said the presentations have to be based on results, on your vision, and your belief. When you believe in something, you find ways to make it better. And remember this, for those who believe, no explanation is necessary. You just believe in you, in your profession. But for the people who do not believe, there is no possible explanation. It doesn't matter what coaching program, doesn't matter what happened. Today we had some challenges with this system. I think it's working fine now. And I've been spending a lot of time and energy with Microsoft trying to get this way to communicate because I like the way it records more than anything else. And I think when we tested it over the weekend was good, and we created new ways, like getting a new computer set up here as a backup right away with this in case. But we found a solution. Maintaining an attitude. I believe it's going to work. I want it to work. So far it's working. So just remember that you are the possibilities. Think with possibilities because you are prosperity. The affirmation, I am the possibilities, I am prosperity. Say it every day. And you have your affirmations. You have the I believe, not doubt, I will create, not destroy, I will lead, not follow, and I will step up and set new standards. So when I do this affirmation, my mind immediately starts thinking, wow, if I believe, not destroy, I will create. Wow, I'm creating something. I'm creating something new. Find solutions. We have covered 11 vitamins. We have the last vitamin, which is B12, for our next session, being a good influence. And that's a very important vitamin. What I need you to do for this last session is I need you to write down the things that you have learned in 11 sessions. The best of the 11 sessions. Your best practices. We're going to put the best practices because next session is about being a good example, which is you. Saying, I learned this, I do this, I am applying this. So B12 is going to wrap everything up, being a good example, leading by example, walking the walk, and talking the talk. Basically being yourself. So I need you to please take some time this week, as soon as you can.
So,
yep.
Just one thing, this is not this week. Take some time tomorrow because the next section is on Wednesday.
That's right. Okay, so take some time tomorrow to take Marco to write down the things that you have learned. This is very intense. All right, B12. Be a good example. This one is what they teach us since we're very little at school. But it's nothing more than always being your best. Look, for what it's worth, keep this in mind. People are going to hire you for who you are, not for what you do. What you do is something you learn and something that somebody else also can do. And some people can do it faster, better, worse. But who you are is irreplaceable. And you are a great professional. That's why what you do works. When you connect who you are with what you do. Basically, when you learn to love what you do and do what you love, which is the result of next session. Next session, we're going to combine what we have learned to make each one of you the best example of real estate and the most attractive person for the business and to the business. And that will be the last vitamin called B12. Okay? Any questions about this session before we switch to Spanish?
Oh, that's how we got disconnected.
Mhm.
Did you get disconnected?
No.
No, I'm going to switch the presentation to Spanish. So we finish in English, we're going to switch to Spanish. We have to talk about the next session. Are we scheduled at a specific time? Marco,
Same time, right?
same time?
Yeah.
Everybody okay with that?
Yeah, I can't make it, but
Let me see something here because I have a coaching call with Panama, so I'm trying to figure out the times. Hold on a sec.
Okay.
Christmas party that Peter scored.
Okay. So far it's working good. Let's not. Oh, I'm gonna stop the recording here.
Yeah, we just don't see you, but
Yeah.
the presentation and the sound was good.
Yeah, good, excellent,
I can see you.
good. I'm loading up the presentation in Spanish.
Let's say close now.
Okay,
Marco.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, everybody. I think Wednesday is too soon. I have a coaching call at. If we started this early on Wednesday, we have to do just one session because I have a 9:15 call with Panama. Why don't we move it for Thursday or Friday?
Because the party is Thursday.
That's right. Why don't we move it for Thursday?
Thursday morning?
We can do it on Thursday morning if everybody wants.
Hold on. Hold on.